Okay, this is the before shot. These have been bits to cone 06. This is red clay 332 Plainsman. These pieces have been burnished, partially on the wheel and partially by hand. And this is the white clay Plainsman B-Mix, and again fired to cone 06 in electric kiln. First they were burnished. There is no glaze of any kind on these pieces. These are some smaller pieces in the same B-Mix. There's carving on a couple of these pots, and again they've been burnished and fired to cone 06 in the electric kiln. Okay, this one is wrapped in a rag that has been soaked in pickling salt, about 1.5 cups of pickling salt to about 3 gallons of water, soaked overnight, dried on the clothesline. I've got a little copper swirl there that's hooked over the edge. I'm hoping to get a little reaction from that. Inside we've got sawdust and bluestone and a bit of pickling salt. For this one I'm going to use a milk carton as a sagger. I have some sawdust and a bit of Miracle-Gro fertilizer put in the bottom there, and I'm going to pack it in dried grass and the heads off of some live grass. Maybe I'll get a little bit of a mark from the seed ends here. Another milk carton for a sagger. This one I've wrapped the pot in a rag that's been soaked in salt water. The bottom has sawdust and some bluestone in it. Okay, I was going to throw out this bag from coffee beans. I noticed it had sort of a foil lining and thought it could be used for a sagger. So I'm going to put this little pot in there, and I'm going to put coffee grounds and eggshells with it, and a little bit of salt. For this one I'm attempting to get some horsehair arranged on the pot. It's hair from the tail. It's very coarse and it doesn't want to lay down, so I'm going to take a piece of tin foil and squash it down like that to try and press the horsehair up against the pot. From past experience, I've found that you don't want to get the horsehair on too thick in any spot. It just sort of melts into a black blob instead of giving the fine lines. So I'll work with this a bit and hope for a good result. Another attempt with horsehair on the red clay. The other one I just wrapped a salt-soaked rag around it to hold it in place. This one I'm just going to try and crumple up in the tin foil with a little bit of sawdust to make sure I get some good blacks, and a bit of salt. Okay, starting to pack the pit. I put some straw down first from the barn that's got manure and urine in it, and then some sawdust on top. The tubes of paper to encourage the fire to go down, and I packed some of the pots. Okay, I topped that layer off with some shredded paper, some more sawdust, Miracle-Gro, and a few little piles of bluestone. Okay, it is ready to light. I put some kindling just on top of the pack and some shredded paper right under it, so it should catch fire, and I've soaked that with citronella lamp oil and then put some old fence posts on top of it. So I am ready to light the fire. Okay, here we go with the inaugural lighting of Sam's kiln. This pretty blue barrel should not be blue by the time this is finished. As predicted, the pretty blue barrel is definitely getting some color on it. Fire seems to be burning really good. Don't see any smoke yet. The chimney. Okay, this barrel has been burning for about 40 minutes. The wood's burned down below the lip, so according to what I've read about this, it's time to put the lid on. There's still no smoke coming out of the chimney. In fact, the bottom of the stovepipe is still cool to the touch. So obviously there's nothing coming, no downdraft coming yet. This is supposed to reverse it by putting the lid on, although I hear it can take up to 3 hours before the downdraft starts. So I'll put the lid on and see what happens. Okay, the lid is on. I have a couple of pieces of angle iron to give about a little over 1 inch of space for the draft to come through. As you can see, it's still flaming out the back of the barrel. The rocks on top are to cover the bung holes, which were plastic bungs, so I obviously couldn't leave them in. So this should at some point stop smoking out of the barrel and start smoking out of the chimney.